Now, I've been wanting to play some Counter-Strike 2. The only problem is I don't exactly have an account. Luckily for me, my girlfriend does. So after some pretty intense negotiations, my girlfriend finally agreed to allow me to get onto it. Now, originally I tried queuing up some long matches, but nothing seemed to be popping, so I decided to enable short matches as well and ended up finding myself a game. Right now, the only map you can play in competitive is Overpass, and it looks absolutely amazing. They really should have just redone all the maps like this. I don't understand why they have to have Touchstone, PBR maps, and then they have the full reworks. This gives it such a fresh new feeling, it's great. Now, I'm not sure how many of you guys played Counter-Strike Source out there, but if you did, you probably remember an incredibly accurate deagle that you could pretty much spam. Well, the deagle in this game seems to be definitely upgraded, not quite to the point of Counter-Strike Source, but still incredibly accurate if you shoot it at a moderate rate. I hope Valve doesn't change this because it really rewards good aim, but because I like it, I'm pretty sure Valve will get rid of it. So just in case, I'm going to change my stance and say, wow, the new deagle really sucks. I hate being accurate. And with that, we were on the way on the pistol round, where my teammates decided the best course of action was to hit that B site. Now, I knew early on this game was going to be pretty difficult because there was no way for me to communicate since I didn't change my keys over. Now, why would I not do that, you might be asking? Well, my girlfriend wanted me to make sure that I changed everything back if I did change it in the first place. And that is just too much work for me. Now in CSGO, this wouldn't actually be a problem because everyone has their own configs on their own computer, but here it's actually kept on the cloud, so anything I change here will change on her config as well. So I decided to do the bare minimum and just change my sensitivity and resolution and see what happened. Hey, so far so good. Now, I don't know if it's the hit registry or if the guns are just a little bit more accurate in this game, but because it does feel like the AK, the Deagle, and a few other guns are more accurate, I decided to go straight up to the AK. See, the thing is, even though Valve states that the movement is exactly the same in this game, with the exception of bunny hopping, than it is in CSGO, and they've even showed a video comparing the side-by-side movement comparison, because it is on a different engine, the game does feel different. Even if they tried to replicate it exactly perfect, some things are going to feel different just because the engine has lower latency in general, which means you're going to have less peaker advantage, which means the input is going to feel more real time. And that's going to change how you fundamentally have to play the game.
Oh my god, how did I fuck that up?
And I'm totally fine with that, because at the end of the day, what I wanted is a refreshing new version of Counter-Strike. Even if there is a little bit of a learning curve to trying to become good at it. And trust me, there is. I know we lost this round because of that incredibly accurate deagle, but I still love that deagle. Well, you know what? If he's gonna use that deagle, I'm gonna use a deagle, damn it. But on a more serious note, it really feels like you have the ability to hold angles more passively now. And what I'm trying to say is in CSGO, it really felt like you wanted to be jiggling a location or always be the one that's peeking out onto your opponent. But in CS2, I've actually found a lot more success with just holding angles like I did in 1.6 and Source. But that's not to say it's the best strategy, because due to the higher acceleration speed that matches up with CSGO, you actually can still peek out pretty well also. And because of this, this might actually be the most balanced of any of the Counter-Strikes.
From underneath.
But since you can play the game in such drastically different ways, I decided to try a couple plays I would never try in CSGO. For example, creeping past a smoke, not worrying it's a one-way. Okay, on a more serious note, pushing up close to this area and seeing if I could get an aggressive pick. Then my teammate snuck the bomb over to the other site, planted that bomb, and the last guy decided to save his gun. And I found out how big the bomb radius really is! Now, for anyone out there that's actually gotten the chance to play CS2, has flicking felt different for you? Because personally, I feel like there's almost some kind of built-in acceleration. Something I noticed about it is there's no raw input option, so I wonder if raw input is even on. Just time after time, AWP shot after AWP shot, I failed to connect with my flick shots. Which puts me in a really weird situation where I find myself rifling. Luckily for me, I can play that more traditionally now that the peeker advantage isn't as extreme. But anytime I'm forced to flick, you can always see that my crosshair goes farther than I'm expecting. But as you can see here, it looks like it's going to take a lot more from me if I'm going to win this game. Luckily in CSGO, I'm global on both of my accounts. So the first thing I do is I decide to buy an AWP and make my way over towards Fountain. Now my idea here is that I might be able to catch a guy that's pushing from long. But after waiting for a while, I realize that they're not going to be playing aggressively. Or are they? Now that my teammate has picked the one guy that pushed up, we can make our way back over there towards the B site. Obviously, me being global in Counter-Strike Global Offensive doesn't mean much in this game. And with that, we go on to lose the round, and the counter-terrorists pick up another one. This is going to be a challenging second half. I started off the same way I always started off in CSGO. I push Fountain, peek it, and shoot anyone in the face that's there. Except one problem, there's no one there. Which means that my teammates get steamrolled over at the B site, so that means I have to worry about one of them pushing up aggressive here. After clearing it, I notice that they haven't planted yet, so maybe I can go to heaven and pick the guy after he plants the bomb. Unless they decide to fake it and go to the other site.
You know where they are?
Now I know what you're thinking, why did I peek out like that? I really thought he'd be in the right-hand corner. A lot of people like to play that right-hand corner to catch them off. Sadly, it didn't pay off, we lost the round, and now I gotta come up with a different plan, which includes buying a deagle and hoping for headshots. I'd like to take credit here for what happens next. Even though I really didn't do much to contribute to that round at all. On this next round, someone drops an AK and I decide to pick it up. Usually in Counter-Strike Global Offensive, I'd decide to snipe instead, but I can't hit the broadside of a barn with an AWP in this game. Okay, so maybe the AK was a bad idea because I can't seem to hit the broadside of a barn with that either. Alright, so this is as good a time as any to use those 1.6 tactics. Remember how I said holding angles in this game is a viable option? Here's a good example of that. Now, wanting to change things up and be unpredictable, since I do have this AK-47, I decided to make my way over towards short B. Maybe I could get an aggressive pick like I do with an AWP sometimes. What I didn't expect was to not only get smoked off, but to get hit by a perfect flashbang to counter this push. Like seriously, am I playing against FACEIT rank 10s or something? Luckily, my teammates bail me out of this round, so I decided to make it even more difficult for them by buying an AWP, which I know I can't kill anything with. But to give myself a faster rotation, I decided to play from heaven. I mean, yeah, they smoked off short, but surely they won't smoke off heaven, right?
Flash over there.
They still are able to take monster, which puts me in a bad situation knowing that they could push up towards me since I'm playing so passively. He catches me off guard, which forces me to flick, and like always, I seem to just over-flick everything. Look at this in slow motion. And I'll ask again, am I the only one that feels like there's some kind of mouse acceleration in this game? My teammate goes for the defuse, doesn't realize that it's at the site he checks because he doesn't see it, and rotates back over to the other side, picks up an AWP, and instead of saving it, he goes over to the bomb and blows up with it. Which puts me on a save round, so maybe I can hit something with this magic deagle. Yeah, I still don't know how that second shot with the deagle didn't hit. It was clearly perfectly on his head, and with the new deagle being as accurate as it is, I really feel like I just got unlucky here. Another round down the drain, and with 2 more opportunities to win this round, I'm going to save this one, go with a deagle, and buy an AWP on the last round. I feel like that's really going to give me the best chance to win at least. Alright deagle, it's time for you to redeem yourself. See, the second bullet worked there, and of course that's going to give me the opportunity to pick up an AWP. Plus we have bomb down, which means the other team's going to have to come towards us, so I'm just going to set up for it. Hopefully I can just hit the shot and don't have to flick.
More connector.
Well, there's one of the 2 guys. Now, can I hit another shot? And the answer to that is a resounding no. I can't hit this guy for anything. Luckily for me, my teammate bails me out of this, and we won the game. That was one hard-fought game in CS2, but the problems are still there. Why is there no raw input, and does that mean that we're not using raw input in CS2? Anyways, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please subscribe, and if you didn't, well, you know, maybe you'll like the next one. Subscribe anyway.